Hi guys, welcome to the video, and in today's video I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can deal with pressure in soccer. Stay tuned because that's coming up next. Pressure is one of the things that many players struggle to deal with when it comes to soccer. Many players actually thrive on pressure, but many other players seem to shy away from it and because of it don't perform as well as they want to. So I'm going to give you 3 ways that you can actually get over pressure or use it to your advantage. Okay, so way number 1 is deal with those pregame nerves. Many of you have probably experienced pregame nerves in the form of just regular nervousness, of maybe even shaking, of feeling like a pit in your stomach, butterflies, something like that. And all of us have been there at one point. But a common mistake that many players make is they just ignore these feelings. No, you need to deal with these feelings because if you just try and ignore them and hope that they go away, more times than not, they won't, and they'll follow you into the game. So something that I actually find that helps to deal with pre-game nerves is using a visualization technique that helps you visualize yourself playing amazingly in the game. This not only causes you to get rid of your pre-game nerves, it causes you to gain confidence and assurance in your ability that you're going to play well in the match as well, okay? So I will link in the description down below a link to this visualization technique. I made a video about it a while ago, and if you use this an hour or two before your game or even 30 minutes before your game, you'll see much different results, not only when you're playing, but in your pre-game nerves as well. Okay, so idea number 2 is just simply change your mindset. A little earlier in this video, I mentioned that some players actually thrive on pressure. I happen to be one of those players. Usually the bigger the occasion, the better I play because I want to prove to myself that I can play under that pressure. See that if you can take pressure and instead of getting nervous when you are expected to do something or there's pressure on you, see if you can thrive under that pressure and challenge yourself. It's a complete mindset shift that if you can do it correctly, can take you from playing nervously, taking bad touches, not playing fast enough in matches where you normally could, and going from that player who's doing that to a player who's dominating matches, who is having the best game of his life. If you can learn to thrive under pressure, you are going to have a field day in most games. One way to try this is just to try and challenge yourself. Set a challenge before the match to play well or do something good in the match or have a solid game, take only good touches, something of that nature, and really try and complete that challenge. Now, an important thing with this is to make sure you're not too hard on yourself if you're not meeting the challenges in the match. Just keep picking yourself up and going from there. But if you can take this nervousness you have before games with this pressure on you and turn it into this challenge and thrive on that pressure, you'll see huge differences in your play during matches. Okay, idea number 3, and this is a very simple one, but it's also one that really players struggle with, and the first 2 kind of tie into this, but don't overthink. The more you get caught up in your head, the less present you are when you're on the pitch, or the less aware you are when you're actually playing, the more you're going to mess up. Because instead of just passing the ball normally like you would, you're going to overthink the process. Should I use the inside or the outside? Should I chip it? Should I play it along the ground? Should I hit it this hard or that hard? I'm only talking about one thing here, which is passing, and yet you can already see that I'm overthinking. Really, trust your instincts when you play. You've done all that practice for a reason, to develop your muscle memory and your instincts. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't think at all during matches, but don't overthink. There'll be other situations where you need to think, like certain runs you need to make, or positional sense. Knowing where you need to be on the pitch at certain times in the match is a thinking process. You do have to think to do that. You have to be aware. But don't overthink, because it's one of the main things that I find trips up a lot of players. Let me give you an example. Have you ever gone to take a penalty, or even in practice gone to take a penalty and just started overthinking it? Did you maybe say, I'll go left, and then change your mind and say, I'll go right, oh no, I'll go down the middle? How did that feel? I bet you it made taking that penalty so much more difficult. I bet you were so much more nervous than you were when you originally stepped up to take that penalty. And the reason this is because you are overthinking. When you overthink something and you give yourself way too many options, you are afraid that you're going to choose the wrong option, which is going to make you nervous. So if you really, really want to make sure you are performing well in pressure situations in matches or in pressure just games in general, you need to stop overthinking altogether. Okay guys, so we're going to recap really quickly. Number one, deal with pre-game nerves. Don't just ignore them, deal with them. And I've given you a visualization technique. Just go into the description. It'll be the first link I think down there, or actually go to where it says videos I mentioned. I'll have the link to that video down there. Number two, see if you can make it or change your mindset so that you deal with pressure or thrive on pressure instead of getting nervous with it. I can tell you, when I started to be able to thrive on pressure, it made me play so much better in games that I normally wouldn't play well in, instead of getting nervous in those situations. So see if you can change your mindset and challenge yourself to, instead of getting nervous in pressure games or situations, to instead thrive in those situations and be that go-to person in pressure situations. And finally, three, don't overthink. Be aware of what's around you. Be aware of your thoughts in matches and don't overthink the process. You've put in the hours on the training ground in team and individual practice in order to develop the muscle memory that's going to allow you to do things in matches. Trust those instincts that you've developed. If you overthink the process, you're just going to mess yourself up. Okay guys, so that's 3 ways you can help deal with pressure in soccer. This is very important because I find that many players are very talented, skillful, just practice a lot and have gotten themselves to be at a really good level, but they lack that mentality and they get nervous too often. So if you are one of those players, work on dealing with those pressure situations in soccer. And once you have the confidence to deal with those situations, you can just let your talent and your skill take over and do the talking for you. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new to Simplysoccer and this is the first video of mine you're seeing, or maybe it's not the first, but you aren't subscribed to us, make sure you hit that red subscribe button because we release videos all the time, 3 to 5 times in a week, in fact, to help you specifically improve as a soccer player. Also, make sure you like this video and share it on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. That helps make the channel bigger. It helps spread these ideas to more and more soccer players. And in the end, we want to make a tight-knit community that can help each other and grow together. So make sure you do that as well. Let's try and get 75 likes at least on this video. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Also, if you're not on my email list, make sure you get on that because that is something that I give extra content on in the future and sometimes soon as well, that is going to help you thrive as a soccer player with information that's not necessarily included on the channel. So you definitely want to sign up for that. Plus, you'll get a free ebook just for signing up. All right, guys, that's it from me. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.